I think it's interesting to read screenplays that are written by writer-directors. It's really interesting. If somebody's going to direct, sometimes they write in their heads and they put down something quite spare on the page. And so you see a much more spare script. So it's interesting to read that. The other kind of, and I don't know how useful it is really for writers, but for those of you who want to be writer-directors, it might be of interest. The other thing that I think it's interesting to look at are genre-breaking or groundbreaking films. And when Ross mentioned Shane Black, I thought that he was a really good example because he kind of broke a lot of rules of format. I remember when early in his career, he would do things that would completely break the fourth wall with the reader, and it'd be sort of confrontational. He'd play little tricks on you and say funny things right to you as the reader that would wake you up and make you pay attention. And that's not a genre-breaking script; it's a format-changing script. But I made a movie called Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and at the time nobody had done a comedy horror movie. That voice of Joss Whedon, who's now made the Avengers, that comedy voice, the voice of this girl that he wrote, this young guy wrote this girl. It was almost as though he'd invented a new language. It reminded me most of Clockwork Orange, in which there was this alternate universe in which girls said things like, I mean, they're expressions now in the culture. You've grown up with them. You're having a bad hair day. Oh, that's so 5 minutes ago. What does he know? He's wearing a brown tie. I mean, those kinds of lines there were 3 to every page, and you just die laughing and gasp at how original the language was. It was as though he was inventing language all over again. You could see the talent of the writer, and you can see the power of being able to create another world. And I completely believed that vampires could exist and that cheerleaders could slay them because he created a universe in which that could happen.